When World War II disrupted farms, factories and trade routes, hunger did not arrive all at once. It crept in quietly as ingredients vanished, portions shrank, and familiar meals became impossible to make. Families who survived were not necessarily those with the most food, but those who knew how to transform almost nothing into something sustaining. Recipes were not about taste or tradition anymore. They were systems for survival, designed to stretch calories, reuse scraps, and keep bodies working through months and years of uncertainty. Many of these recipes vanished after the war because abundance returned. What was forgotten, however, was how brutally effective they were. In a crisis, these meals still work because they were designed for constraint, not comfort. Bread stretched with vegetables became the foundation of civilian endurance. Wartime bread often contained far less flour than peacetime loaves. Families grated potatoes, turnips, or carrots directly into dough to add bulk and moisture while reducing grain use. The vegetable starch gelatinized during baking, producing filling bread that stayed edible for days. To apply this today, one can mix mashed root vegetables into basic flour, yeast, salt and water knead lightly, and bake at moderate heat. The result is dense, nourishing bread that conserves grain while increasing calories per slice. Soup, built from bones and peelings, replaced full meals. Bone soup was not a side dish, but a central ration, you know. Families simmered bones for hours, then reused the broth repeatedly, adding peelings, stale bread or grains each day. Nothing was discarded. To recreate this method, just simmer any available bones with salt for several hours, strain and refrigerate or cool. The fat that rises can be reused for cooking, while the broth becomes a daily base for calories and minerals. Porridge meals carried entire households through shortages. Porridge was endlessly adaptable. Oats, barley, rye, or even ground acorns were cooked slowly with water, then enriched with fat, dried fruit, or a spoon of sugar, if available. The key was consistency and timing. Long, slow cooking extracted maximum nutrition. Today, porridge remains one of the most efficient crisis foods. Whole grains, cooked gently over low heat, yield sustained energy with minimal fuel. Vegetable fritters allowed scraps to become protein carriers. Families grated whatever vegetables they had, mixed them with a small amount of flour or meal, salt and water, then fried them in minimal fat. These fritters were filling, portable, and could be eaten cold. To apply this now, combine shredded vegetables with flour until the mixture binds, form small cakes, and cook in a thin layer of oil. The method turns odds and ends into substantial meals. Meatless stews were engineered for calorie efficiency. Wartime stews often contained no meat at all. Instead, legumes, grains, and root vegetables were cooked together slowly to create thick, filling dishes. The key was combining plant proteins with carbohydrates and fat. Today, soaking beans overnight, then simmering them with barley, potatoes, and fat creates a complete meal that feeds multiple people for days. Fried bread soaked in fat replaced meat-based breakfasts. When meat disappeared, bread fried in saved fat became a morning staple. The bread absorbed calories quickly and provided energy for labour. So, to recreate it, you just heat a small amount of oil or rendered fat-fry slices of stale bread until they're crisp and then salt lightly. It's simple, filling, and honestly requires almost no ingredients at all. Milk-based sauces, turned small portions into full meals. Families would thicken milk or even diluted milk substitutes with flour to make sauces poured over vegetables or bread. This added calories and, warmth without needing any extra ingredients. To use this method, gently heat milk or a powdered milk solution, whisk in flour until it's thickened, and season it lightly. Poured over boiled vegetables, it really does transform scarcity into sustenance. Fermented vegetable soups extended preservation and nutrition. Sauerkraut soup and similar fermented dishes provided warmth and vitamins through winter. A small amount of fermented vegetables simmered with water, grains, and fat created deeply nourishing meals. Today, adding fermented vegetables to soups increases shelf life and nutritional density while reducing the need for fresh produce. Sweetened grain puddings maintained morale and calories. Grain puddings, cooked slowly with water, milk or milk substitutes, and sweetened lightly, were served as both food and emotional support. Sugar or honey was used sparingly but strategically. Modern versions can be made by simmering grains until soft, then sweetening minimally. These dishes stabilize energy and morale during prolonged stress. Leftover mash was never wasted and always repurposed. Any leftover porridge, potatoes or stew was reshaped into patties and fried the next day. This eliminated waste and created variety. Today, reshaping leftovers into new meals remains one of the most effective ways to stretch food supplies. Why these recipes still matter now? These recipes were not about nostalgia or hardship theatre. They were engineered responses to long-term disruption. They required few ingredients, tolerated substitutions, and rewarded patience over abundance. In a modern crisis, whether caused by supply failure, economic instability or natural disaster, the same principles apply. Knowing how to cook when choice disappears is as valuable now as it was in 1943. If you value serious World War II history and practical survival knowledge drawn from real civilian experience, subscribe to the channel and share this video with others who understand that resilience is built in kitchens, not headlines.